Hello, hello. Welcome. I'm Angel, and this is Angel Starlight Tarot, where we talk about all things energy, astrology, numerology, tarot, and beyond, so that we can connect our own dots through our own perceptions within our own story, personally and interpersonally. I do hope that you'll hang around and grow with me here in this space while I settle in with you all. If you are here with me, thank you so much for your support and the sharing of your time. It means more than you may know. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell for future notifications, and comment below. I'd love to interact with you here. Today is a shout out day. So let's talk about it. The Leo King, David Palmer. Let's talk about the Leo King, David Palmer. I need to do this before it gets too far away from me because the episode was absolutely amazing, and I believe that it is worthy of the support, hands down. And in that sense of things, that's David. That's made all of that happen over there. I actually wrote out a shit ton of something that I don't even remember what is in here, but we're just going to go ahead and dive in because he deserves the props, and I believe that the show should definitely be paid attention to, so that you can see where we resonate in with the astrology that's happening, the astrology that's been happening leading up to this, and what kind of energies we're looking at out there. He's done an amazing job with his latest show, Spiritual Daddy. Yes, David, I have to giggle. I'm sorry. 43-year-old mother. And it very much so makes sense. So good job all at the same time. Because, dude, you really are pretty much a spiritual daddy, aren't you? So let's just read this ish and see what this ish says and where it goes. The episode that I'm speaking of specifically right now is episode 4. You know what? Actually, let's just do this right now. Yeah, it's already up here. And it's 3:30 on my clock right now. 3:30. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Oh, there we go. There we go, maybe? Yeah, that one. Right there. With David and Brian. They're doing an amazing job. When we're looking at the astrology and we're looking at tarot and we're looking at numerology, it's still truly a perception of what's being seen, what's been learned through any of our greatest astrologers or readers of any kind. It's a great idea to get a feel for what they're all feeling and seeing, because there can be differences there, and one astrologer may resonate with you where another just does not, just like a tarot reader or anything else for that matter. I'm not only a support the supportable kind of person, but I'm also all about sharing the great info that I'm resonating with at the given time. The ones that help give the confirmation to what's already going on in my brain, or dropping great seeds that I feel others could benefit from hearing. I have a bit of a respectable story attached with this specific soul, a fellow Leo. I heard another fellow reader drop a seed a while ago that told a little story about when you come across someone that triggers you or is off-putting to your senses. There's often something there for you to see in the energy and within yourself. I started looking at it differently, and it seems to be spot on. So I invite y'all to try it. Instead of turning away from the energy, Lean in and see if there's something there you're supposed to see or learn from. We're never done learning or growing, and there is something to learn about ourselves and others within everyone, and I'd like to honor one of those connections today. I came across the Leo King, David Palmer, over the last couple of years. I was introduced to him through Alex at Coyote Star Astrology. Two humans that I adore in the astrology energy community. But I won't lie. I don't lie. We don't lie, do we? No, we do not. It took me a while to truly connect with David. I knew what it was, but struggled to look past it. I had even had to unsub from his channel for a while, but I continued to go back every once in a while in an attempt to enjoy him for who he is and the great knowledge that he bestows. Leos are capable of feeling egoish to others, especially when we know that we've done the work to know what we're talking about. Rock on, rock on. Well, it finally happened. He started his new show with Brian Scarborough, Fixed Air Moon, called Spiritual Daddy. I honestly laughed my ass off, as you already heard. As the mother of adult children with a sarcastic, typical Leo masculine, but knew he is gifted in what he knows and how he chooses to put it out. And I'll say that again, and how he chooses to put it out. Mad props. Mad props, fellow Leo. Great job. I have forever stated, respect the respectable, no matter our human age. And sometimes assholes that own their assholism have more of my respect than the sweetest, nicest person on earth. And that's very true. I tell people regularly, if you're an asshole and you own your asshole, you probably have more of my respect than others have. If you're real about who you are, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. I'm a third decan, 27-degree Leo. A little bit more fiery with that added Aries kick. With 4 other prominent Leo placements, all in my 7th house of deep connection. I'm capable of laying some shit down, just like David, to a lot of degrees. I understand where it comes from and why it's there. Much respect to this masculine Leo energy, also helping to walk us in the ways he's made possible for us and himself. Ultimately, for his need to serve. Ooh, what'd I put here? And guide. That's what that says. That's right. That's right. Serve and guide. For his need to serve and guide through the heart chakra, aka loyal to his own heart and his own mission here on earth, ultimately loyal to serving and walking with us as he shares what he sees, no matter what anyone says, thinks, or feels about it. And I agree. So much respect at this point. Spiritual Daddy has been an amazing show, putting out amazing connections, putting forward so very many of the same things that my own brain has been speaking for years. Hashtag like minds. Every show has been worthy, and his last one only trumps the others. So many key points brought up that brains that don't work the way ours do struggle to see through the shock of hearing the things that they hadn't thought of yet. Or he also drops... Ooh. Wow, sorry. Or hearing the things that they hadn't thought of yet. As he also drops seeds that connected more dots in my own life and allowed others to absorb deeper. A very powerful episode that was highly connective in so many details for me. He did a live spiritual dance party during the new moon in Leo that was abundantly off the chain for all of us who were watching and in the chat. Magical, all in the most grand and positive of ways. It was breathtaking and brought many to tears. With this last episode of Spiritual Daddy, with he and Brian, It really became mind-blowing for me. And then the last hour happened. Explosive and so on point. Kudos, David, kudos. My new homie gets told in the live chat to quit smoking. He goes on an educational rant that was so in sync with a video topic I was already planning that it triggered this shout out video that were already planned to start now with him. I highly encourage this entire video, even if you don't grasp the planet astrology talk they're talking. Listen anyways. Hear the parts your mind is supposed to hear right now, the parts that resonate and give you something to look at. We're going to go right into the topic that I was already planning. The download I received about why I smoked cigarettes, a pack a day, since I was 8, and soon to be 43. I had a motto for years. I despised everything about smoking except the actual act of. I smoked for years, holding my arm above my head, ensuring the smoke rose about above anyone around, versus feeling like a dirty, stinky smoker. I nicknamed them Ews to my kids. They knew I didn't, They knew I didn't want them to create the addiction due to the social influence, never ever realizing the protection it was given us all my whole life. My life required extra constant protection. What seemed awful on the surface was and is actually serving me in ways I never expected, from the smoke itself to learning that smoking marijuana was and is preventing the bug out there, to now understanding the depths behind nicotine preventing the same. Thank you, David. I highly encourage you to go watch at least the first 15 minutes and the last hour. Such great info. Yeah, that. I have eaten so much ish over smoking cigarettes through my life, namely by some of the most closest to me. And about a year ago, the download happened, and I was informed why I had smoked my entire life since I was 8 years old, a full pack a day since I was 8 years old. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the act of. I don't enjoy the smell. I don't enjoy the perception that others carry. But I do enjoy the act of. It has been my quote-unquote break since I became a mother at 15 years old. You know, when it was a 5-minute break time, it was grab a cigarette right quick in the basement. If I was at work, that 15-minute break was running outside to have that quick cigarette. I noticed when I was very young that it wasn't the nicotine I was quote-unquote addicted to. I'm a Leo. If I was supposed to put them down, I would put them down. That's exactly what I would do. There's been very few things that I've considered that have gotten a hold of me in my lifetime. And I always said that it was nicotine and caffeine. Both completely and utterly wrong to be looked at as something that's gotten a hold of me. I merely followed my intuition and passed the test. My home and my spaces have had smoke and nicotine rolling through them for my entire life. And I have lived an extremely hard 43 years. That's a blessing. It's a blessing to know that the universe protected me through me. A blessing in disguise. Just like becoming a mother at 15 years old. It was looked at like a horrible act. It was awful. Oh my goodness, her whole life is destroyed. At 15 years old, I was a more mature mother than the adult mothers that walked through my life. Smoking cigarettes has, in a sense, been a following of my intuition. If I didn't enjoy the act of so much, in a sense, my relax button, I would have put them down. I would have lost that protection. They weren't put down because I wasn't supposed to put them down. So to mirror David, the Leo King, again, highly suggest that you go over to his channel and see what he's got going on. And Brian, fixed air moon, fixed moon air, fixed air moon. It'll be in the description. I do that to myself every time. Fixed air moon. It's fixed air moon. Thank you. It's fixed air moon. Brian and David have an amazing back and forth that's happening on that show. And when it comes to David, he is Leo energy, young Leo energy, even. He's mentioned the 0 degree. The 0 degree is infancy. And just learning that energy. He's very, very knowledgeable. He has so much to tell us. Respectable. But he has said, he knows he's a young energy. It does not change the message. And when it comes to smoking cigarettes, the information that he blasted out on that episode blew my mind. Because it was absolutely, once again, in direct connection with what was already going on in my own world, in my own life. And he did nothing but add a deeper layer there of not knowing what I already knew. Because again, when he said it, it's resonating. You already know. We already know. We already know. And sometimes it just takes that one person to say that right word that triggers our soul. Thank you. To remember what we already knew. And when he mentioned the nicotine receptors in the brain, and I know that we have cannabinoid receptors in our brain when it comes to marijuana as medicine. And he mentioned those receptors being attached to the throat and our manifestation source. And he mentions the most expensive vehicles being made today still being made with ashtrays. Along with other information. Mind blown. And of course, that's not always easy to do when you've walked a spiritual path. It can be kind of hard to blow our minds. And the Leo King, David Palmer, hands down to you, my new homie. I thank you for all you've done up to this point. I haven't been here for the duration. I did not know that we had a spiritual community on a YouTube platform or anywhere else, helping to connect the dots for people and bring this forward. And I can't thank you enough for walking that path and creating what you've been able to create in the ways that you've been able to create it. So kudos to you. And that is the only reason for this video, period. I believe that others should know who our greats are as they're on their path. And if there are others that I can send his way, clear it. If I can help others get to him, thank you very much. If I can help others get to him through me, then I've done my due service as a fellow Leo. Peace, calm, still be with you. Love and light.